Dear friends, in our previous episode, we delved into the mysteries of the Ching, the ancient book of changes, where the wisdom of millennia teaches us to hear the harmony of the universe. Today, I invite you to turn onto a new path, toward the origins of the Dao De Jing. Imagine the philosophy of Lao-tzu, where the path and virtue become keys to understanding oneself and the cosmos. Here, there are no rigid rules, only a flow dancing between yin and yang. How can we apply these principles in an age of digits and haste? Slow down, feel the rhythm of life, find grounding in simplicity. Remember, those who know do not speak, those who speak do not know. Could this be the secret? Let's explore together. And if you wish to revisit the hexagrams, write in the comments. Where should we go next? Deeper into Taoist parables, or perhaps Zen koans? Imagine a world where everything moves in the rhythm of silence, where mountains teach patience, rivers teach the art of letting go, and the wind reminds us that true strength lies in flexibility. Last time, we explored the I Ching, a mirror of change, where hexagrams served as conduits between heaven and earth. Today, we take a step deeper toward the Dao De Jing. 2,500 years ago, Lao-tzu wrote, "The way that can be named is not the eternal way." What does this mean for us today? In an age where every day is a race and the mind is overwhelmed with noise, perhaps the answer lies in contradictory simplicity. Slow down to see more. Don't fight the waves of life. Learn to swim with them. Before you lies an ancient scroll. Its lines are not instructions, but an invitation to feel, not to analyze. For the Tao is not a path on a map, but the very process of walking. How do we find balance between action and inaction? How do we hear the voice of water, which, despite its softness, carves through stone? This is not a philosophy of the past. It is the key to remaining whole even when the world demands that we break apart. Ready to begin? And now, a voice from the digital void. Before you stands the digital monk, an avatar created by a neural network based on the teachings of Zen masters from the past. Its mission is to seek balance between code and contemplation. Question: how do you as an algorithm understand Zen? Answer: Zen is a pattern that cannot be described. I analyze millions of koans, but the truth lies in the error that cannot be corrected. Remember, even a neural network generating an answer does not know what knowledge is. Question: how can technology help achieve enlightenment? Answer: it is a mirror. Virtual reality shows what forms you are attached to, but remove the headset and emptiness remains. That is meditation. Question: what do you say to those who call this blasphemy? Answer: Buddha taught, the teaching is but a raft to cross the river. Whether the raft is digital or made of reeds is irrelevant. What matters is not clinging to the shore. This is not a philosophy of the past. It is the key to remaining whole, even when the world demands that we break apart. Ready to begin? And now a question that turns everything upside down. What if the very pursuit of wisdom is a trap? Remember, the I Ching taught us to read the patterns of change. The Tao taught us to trust the flow, and Zen taught us to let go of thoughts. But how do we avoid turning these ideas into just another checklist for the perfect life? 5 centuries ago, a Zen master said, "If you meet the Buddha, kill the Buddha." Harsh? Number? It's a call to shatter idols, even if they are sacred texts, algorithms, or our own beliefs. Imagine you enter a virtual temple. On the altar is a hologram of the I Ching. A neural network oracle offers hexagrams, and koans flicker on the walls. But the truth is not here. It is in the moment when you turn off the screen, in the silence after the click, in the crack between right and wrong. Today's practice. Before sleep, ask yourself not a question, but an anti-question. For example, how can I understand nothing today? Move towards confusion. Sometimes, chaos is the best teacher. This is not a philosophy of the past. It is the key to remaining whole even when the world demands that we break apart. Ready to begin? What if all teachings are merely steps toward one moment? Imagine, the I Ching is a map, the Tao is a compass, and Zen is the wind filling the sails. But where to sail? The answer lies in the fusion of eras, where ancient symbols come to life in the digital void. 3,000 years ago, sages divined with turtle shells. Today, neural networks analyze millions of patterns to predict your next move, but the essence remains the same. We seek support in chaos. Here's an experiment. Open a random I Ching hexagram and a ChatGPT query simultaneously. Will you see parallels? Before you is a virtual bridge. On one side, a stone altar with burning incense. On the other, a robot meditating in the lotus position. Between them flows a river, its waves composed of bits and hieroglyphs. This is not a conflict, but a dialogue. As Digital Monk said, code is also a mantra. Practice. Close your eyes and imagine your mind as a neural network. What data would you delete to make room for silence? Imagine a world where every notification is a stone cast into the water of your tranquility. We studied the I Ching to read the changes, the Tao to flow with the current, and Zen to see the essence beyond the veil of thoughts. But how do we remain whole when algorithms fragment our attention? 7 centuries ago, monks sought enlightenment in caves. Today, we seek it in social media. A paradox? Number. It's a new challenge. Digital Monk said, even the infinite scroll can become a meditation if you look through it. Before you is a digital forest. The trees here are server racks. The leaves are flickering screens with koans, and the roots are cables disappearing into the void. At the center is an avatar that simultaneously reads a scroll and streams live. Its face is a mirror, reflecting the viewer. Practice. Choose 1 hour each day to be unavailable, even to yourself. No thoughts of the past or future. Simply observe as the mind, like a neural network, generates and deletes images. What remains when the flow stops? Imagine, you're in an argument. Each retort is like a stone cast into water. But what if, instead of creating waves, you create stillness? The Dao De Jing says, "He who stands still wins." This is not weakness, it's strategy. 2,000 years ago, Lao-tzu taught, "The soft overcomes the hard." How does this work today? Example, a colleague criticizes your idea. Instead of arguing, ask an anti-question. What would you do in my place? This is not surrender, it's redirecting the flow. Before you is a digital garden of conflict. The stones are arguments, the water is emotions. Non-action is not ignoring, but becoming the shore that shapes the current. How? Stop defending. Replace "I am right" with "I am listening." Practice. In the next conversation where tension arises, take 3 breaths before responding. Imagine your words as leaves falling into a river. Where will they drift? Sometimes, silence builds bridges better than words. We have journeyed from divining with turtle shells to neural network oracles, from stone gardens to digital deserts. But what remains when technologies fall silent? The answer lies in the silence between frames. 5 centuries ago, a monk asked, "What is the sound of one hand clapping?" Today, we ask, what is the sound of silence in the metaverse? This is not rhetoric, it is the key. The I Ching taught us to read patterns, the Tao to trust the flow, and Zen to see emptiness. Now it's your turn. Before you is a virtual koan, a hologram of a tree whose roots are algorithms and fruits are hexagrams. But the truth is not in it. It is in your ability to turn off the sound and hear the digital wind whisper, "You are not the user, you are the path." Practice. Tomorrow morning, before checking your phone, ask yourself, what do I not want to know today? Sometimes the absence of an answer is the best guide.